Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to VSL. Here we are with another scrim. This time it is Mech and Cheese versus the bad guys. Now the bad guys have officially signed up to VSL as well, so come 15th of June when the season starts, the bad guys will be within the roster. They will be playing. So these are two official VSL teams coming up against each other here tonight. And what are we gonna do here? We're gonna play some Dota. We're gonna watch some Dota. Again, I'll be casting by myself. I'm pretty sure, unless let me ask and see if man is interested. Match tonight. I am certainly excited. I have not seen this team play before, because they are, of course, a little bit new. So I'm excited to see what the bad guys can bring. Now this is a little bit like Tuesday's match where the bad guys have played with each other for a few months now, and so I'm expecting
Go to Sports League.
I'm expecting you to see just some nice little flow and play and coordination between the two teams. And it seems like they are ready. Yeah, I'm expecting some really nice really nice flow and team play between them. Captain's ready. Captain's ready on one of them. I don't know about two.
Tuesday nights.
And that is both of them ready. So the coin is now getting flipped. As you can see, Mech and Cheese have updated their team logo. Logo is looking real good, real clean. Falk's there holding his own picture as Mech and Cheese as well. Really representing here, showing that he is the captain. Whereas the bad guys, it's very unclear, but it is here. Li Chen or LC is the captain. So we're going to get into this right now. Right now, indeed. Again, I'm casting by myself today, so give me a little bit of a break regarding the camera and things. Probably gonna miss First Blood as it goes. That is a bit of a tradition here at VSL. 5 games in a row, I have missed First Blood. I've been looking elsewhere on the map, but maybe we'll break tradition. You know, 'tis the season. Let's get that wiki up. There's them patch notes, fantastic.
5 seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining.
Radiant team ban.
Now I'm wondering if we're going to get those nice little quick bans coming out here. I am wondering if Falks, who's the captain of Mech and Cheese, wondering if he knows if there's any little secrets or anything that are going to... So previously when he played Team MLG, there was a strong micro player on their team. So Brood Mothers were banned, Nature's Prophets was banned, and then they accidentally let a Lycan through and they lost that game. So there will probably only be one game tonight. It is a school night. It is a school night, VSL. This S in VSL is for school night. So we're just going to have to hopefully have a nice clean game. A nice long game would be fun. If we can get a 2-hour game is better than 2 1-hour games, you know what I mean?
10 seconds remaining.
Check out some of those new tier 6 neutrals, see them in action.
5 seconds remaining.
What do we got? Mech and Cheese don't want to deal with a silencer. They're over at ABBA classic ban if you don't want to have to deal with anything. And LC respecting Mech and Cheese Slaughter. However, Scotty, who is normally on the mid lane, who I'm sure that the LC is scared of, the captain of the bad guys, he's not playing today. Scotty is not playing. So Slaughter, it's a fine ban anyway, but if there was something to worry about, it's not Scotty today. Viewers, hello viewers. Hello viewers. Is one of them myself? I think so. So we got that strong one viewership happening right now.
Radiant team pick.
And we have finally gotten to the stage where we're getting a pick. We are getting a pick coming through, so... I always say there's some good heroes that have banned, because the chances are there's probably a good hero that's been banned. I love a Shadow Shaman, I love a Sniper. But let's see what Mech and Cheese loves.
5 seconds remaining.
Mech and Cheese.
Dire team pick.
And that is a Dusky for the first hero picked. A nice little Dusk, which is exciting.
Radiant
Fist bumps all round. And the fences. You can't have a game without fences. Now, I'm hoping that this Disruptor does not go the fences talent. As do you know what's better than 2 straight line fences? 1 fence that just is a nice circle. You can trap them, you can block them. You don't need 2 charges.
5 seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining. We've got another ban coming out from Mech and Cheese. And they go for the OD. Wonder if Falx is just doesn't want to deal with it today. Already some strong heroes, though. Like Disruptor and Tusk. Immediately you've got Lockdown, you've got Stun, you've got Catch.
5 seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining. Anything fun happen with Tusk in this new update? No. What about Disruptor? Is electromagnetic repulsion, of course.
Dire team ban.
It's one of his new facets that he can choose. Transference. It means you can manually cast your passive. 10% of Disruptor's current health and sets ability on 8-second cooldown. 26-second cooldown at level 1. 8-second cooldown. So Ursa. Now this is an interesting pick to come out second. That's awesome. Can Mech and Cheese counter this, I guess?
10 seconds.
Can Mech and Cheese counter this? Ursa, Dota buff. Let's see what Dota buff thinks about the Ursa. Who's got a 51% win rate at the moment? Worst versus a Phantom Lancer, Ricky Wraith King. Fair enough. Lion. Mech and Cheese really not wanting to waste any time or any pick. They both want stun. They want stuns. They want catch. They want decent spells.
10 seconds remaining.
There he is. That's my man.
The war storm is upon us.
There we go. The electromagnetic transference. Yombo.
Dire team pick.
Dire team. Pick a razor. I think it's a pretty nice pick against an Ursa. However, the way that Ursa's passive works, I'm starting to think I'm wrong. Obviously, it's nice to be able to drain any hero that's going to charge at you, but Fury Swipes just keeps on stacking. Doesn't really care about Jakiro, solid. Dawnbreaker, solid. We got some heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Dawnbreaker's always solid. Any global ability that can supply stuns and heals just feels
10 seconds remaining.
good. Bear Grylls.
Radiant team ban.
Fuck. Hey? Seems like we do have a substitute here, and that is Junie. Junie here is a substitute for Mech and Cheese tonight. As I said, Scotty, who was their previous mid laner, just couldn't get a night off tonight. As it is a scrim, it's no big deal. So Junie apparently can play puck. I'm sure he communicated that with his team. Falks picking that puck. 37 seconds left on reserve time here for Mech and Cheese. They've been thinking about this, these plays. Now, as far as big ultimates go, they do have a few. Lion's is obviously a long cooldown and supplies a lot of damage. And then Puck. I think Puck's Dream Coil, while it's not a long cooldown, I think it still counts as a big ultimate. On the other team, we have a Static Storm. We've obviously got... what is Dawnbreaker's ability code? We got the Solar Guardian coming out from the Dawnbreaker on the other side as well. And obviously the Macropyre on the Jakiro. So as far as ultimates goes, pretty even. You got 2 on Mech and Cheese, I'd consider 2. On the bad guys, we got 3, I'd consider big ultimates. No huge ultimates, you know, no Warlock, Black Hole.
10 seconds.
No huge
remaining.
ultimates. But big. And where we got here? 5 seconds. 5 seconds remaining. What do we got? What can we get? What's gonna happen here? You know, what do we got? What's gonna happen here? Does
Radiant
look
team ban.
like Mech and Cheese are looking for an off laner. And into Razor, into an Ursa, it is always hard. Now, I would personally go an Axe, but I always say that. Any off laner, just pick Axe.
10 seconds
But
remaining.
they could also think about a Death
5
Prophet.
seconds
It's not very tanky, but it's nice against an Ursa.
Radiant team pick.
Thanks, Lena. Anyone can play Brewmaster. Apparently he's not bad against Ursa.
Dire team pick.
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Okay, so maybe the Ursa or the Razor is an off lane, and this is a safe lane. Juggernaut. Falks going with Juggernaut. They did ban the PO, who was a nice little comfort pick for Falks on the safe lane, so PO didn't come through.
10 seconds
Some pretty other
remaining.
classics, just some Drow Ranger and Medusa. PA's in a pretty
5
bad
seconds
situation at
remaining.
the moment, so no wonder you don't pick him. And what do we got? Death Prophet
select
coming
your
out for the bad guys. Well, there it is. There's the 5 heroes. 3 big ultimates versus 4 big ultimates, I'd say. But as far as damage goes, I don't think Mech and Cheese are going to struggle at any stage in the game. And I think the same goes for the bad guys. As far as lockdown goes, they've both got enough. Jakiro can handle it, and then we've got plenty of lockdown on that Disruptor. And then as catch goes, Lion, he's probably going to get himself a blink. Tusk can always assist on the catching front. So can Puck. So I think there's a lot of very good bases covered in these lineups. I don't think anyone's looking like an obvious weak situation in their
5
lineup
seconds
currently.
remaining.
How does laning go? I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see which support goes where. I assume that the Jakiro is gonna go top with the Dawnbreaker. Yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. Dota is really thinking about this one, isn't it? And there we go. It's just struggling to load such a nice logo. And the bad guys, the Dire coming out. Look at those characters there. They look like bad guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 in that. Oh, there's 5 in the picture. 1 of each. Oops, and if we press this, we get our settings going. Happy days. How's the lag looking? FPS is high. Ping is good, ladies and gentlemen. It's Dota time. As usual, I'm going to get those starting last hits up and just the basic starting items. The smoke is coming out from Team Mech and Cheese already, and they're going to head their way up to the Dire top jungle. Enough of those items for now. We all agree that we can see them. I'm just going to zoom out into the point where I can see their names. There it is. It's just this little tick just there. So this way we can see much more of the map and you guys can see much more of the game.
30 seconds.
Some making abilities here. What have we got on this disruptor? There it is. He's got the Q, and I think he's also got himself an early death, and that's looking like he's not going to be able to get anywhere. This catch that I was talking about already coming through with this tusk here, and that is the first blood going for the Mech and Cheese. Looking good already, but again, lanes don't really matter this much, and who actually got the kill? Not that lanes don't matter this much, but early first bloods don't matter this much. The Razor got that. Which is, that feels good for him. 2 for 2, 2 runes on each side. Show fire recap. Look at all this damage. Nice little early gold swing there. The 80, yeah, 80 XP and 500 gold. Couple spells being used down here. Falx just putting a bit of pressure. I think he should be hitting him. Yep, he figured out what was going on. Hits him. A little bit too late. Those creeps are going to be there, and the other support Wahoo is not there to catch those creeps. And we've finally got the lane sorted out. So for the Dire, which is the bad guys, we've got a POS 1 Ursa with a POS 5 Disruptor versus a POS 3 Razor on Mech and Cheese, and then a POS 4 Dusky. Puck and Death Prophet are versing each other mid lane with the Puck on Junie, which is the Mech and Cheese. And then going down bottom, we've got a safe lane Jug for Mech and Cheese, and Wahoo, who is the POS 5 on a Lion. The back green is a POS 3, and he is playing Dawnbreaker with Jakiro coming from Sweet Spaghettis. Jug has got spin and he didn't use it. I would have span immediately into that Jakiro. Would have dispelled that beautiful tick and then also been able to hit that damage. You don't want to be holding this Blade Fury. You want to have no mana on Jug. You just want to make sure the enemy team has to think about going on you with that damage. But Falx is 7-1, and you know, last hits aren't everyone's forte. Clearly his. Meanwhile, mid lane is also close. Am I currently in the lobby? Yes, I am. I can actually jump. I can jump out of that because I can just cast regularly. Something that is fun is I did not miss the first blood, so the streak has been broken. First blood has been captured. And the last hits continue to be even on both sides. You've got to be spinning there, or you're just going to take a bunch of damage. Wahoo, very far back. Is this Juggernaut going to go down if you can get enough clicks? No. No, he's not. He's still alive, but he manages to get that creep unblocked. Top lane. Tusk just looking around. A nice wind lace. I love that. Nice little ward there. Jug's looking low. Still in the bottom lane. Managed to get himself 2 last hits though, and they were both range creeps. So he's looking at 11 and 1. Meanwhile, the offlaner is 13 and 2. So the lane is definitely being won right now from the Dire side on the bad guys. Now, Lion's doesn't have a stun. Jug still has a spin. And if you realize, Jug hasn't used his mana yet. He hasn't used his spin at all. And he did not get healing ward. He's happy to believe in these tangos, which is absolutely fine, because I'm sure at level 4 he's going to get himself a healing ward just so he feels a little bit safer in this lane. Now we've got Tusk going mid, helping out with these runes, which is just very important, especially when you're against the Death Prophet, because you don't want to have him getting mana and things like this. But now the Spirit Siphon has come out, the Tusks has continued to hit, and Junie is continuing to go, but the Taniska on the Death Prophet, he has missed. He's managed to dodge this orb. However, the silence has come out. Death Prophet has had to use his Fairy Fire. He's one more hit away, and can he get this Junie with the ultimate orb? Is he going to go in? No. He thinks that there's mana there, but now that he's got himself a bottle, he's happy to have a low hero. A low hero is as good as a dead one. Ooh. But only if you're patient. He tries to go in there. The Tenseer is out. Jug, meanwhile, bottom lane. Jug goes down underneath tower, getting dove from the Dawnbreaker and Jakiro, and now Lion is pulling. He is pulling no matter what. I think something that's going on here is he should be looking and seeing that these creeps are almost underneath the tower. He shouldn't be pulling, because now Jug's going to miss these creeps. Oh, thankfully the cooldown timer isn't that long. Meanwhile, Li Chen on the Ursa, he's having a great game. But second behind him is the Razor. Now, Death Prophet has ran back to base, TP'd out, so he's got a full bottle, full health, all resources that he needs, and he's just sitting there with boots and a bottle and a wand. Not much more you need on a Death Prophet, especially against a puck. Meanwhile, bottom lane, very nice hex there. The spin is doing plenty of damage. Are we able to find any more? Tusk blocks the way for Dawnbreaker to leave, and then we're able to finish that Dawnbreaker off. That's a 0 for 1. A nice little 2 kills max in total for Mech and Cheese, with that 1 kill on Jug that they got before for the bad guys. And now Razor's just going on the Ursa. No, he's decided to back off. However, Death Prophet is making a rotation. So now we've got that glimpse. I think that was maybe a little bit early. This Disruptor almost goes down. Tusk, in the meanwhile, he's trying to get that shard block, but he manages to miss it, unfortunately. However, he was able to stop the assault coming in from the Death Prophet onto his core, but instead Death Prophet actually manages to get the Tusk anyway, and now it looks like the Death Prophet is going to dive here. I'm not sure what's happening with the puck. The puck looks like he was trying to cause havoc in the background. However, the Death Prophet is not able to catch this Razor, so that is a 1 for none, with both mid laners rotating to the top lane, and Death Prophet getting himself a kill. Puck managing to stop the rest of the heroes, I guess. Bot lane, Jug 29 last hits. Dawnbreaker 31. The lanes are very even. And look at those net worth. It's almost neck and neck between all cores except for the puck. The puck is the only one who is below 2,800. The rest of the cores are all above that. Now, I'm sure that this Ursa's got himself those phase boots, and I'm sure that he's just looking at a Battle Fury. The Ice Shards have blocked. However, Sticky has used Fences. I did not realize that he chose Fences. This is great news. Great news indeed. Fences. Every single time he uses a fence and a player just runs away. I'll be sure to bring that up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Middle tower is under attack. Yeah, all good. Just stay hydrated. Bottom lane, this Juggernaut is getting damage put on him. He does have his spin, but he does also have a healing ward. You might as well just save the mana for that. Dawnbreaker. He's using his ultimate to help out a mid-Death Prophet who's fine, absolutely fine. So I think that was just a very early usage. Wahoo, he's on the line, he's managing to run. Is Puck able to do anything to stop this? He silenced him, but the right click comes out from the Death Prophet. Manages to get the Lion kill directly under tower. Oh, and then a very nice TP back to base from the Dawn Prophet up in the Radiant Triangle, just to escape any onslaught coming from the two heroes chasing him. That made great space for the Ursa. Meanwhile, the Puck is still 1,000 behind this Ursa. Seems like every other core is now above 3,500 gold. Puck's still below 2,700, so he's still just tailing behind with about 600 gold. I guess he's looking for a kill or a specific item. Witchblade coming up for the Puck. Disruptor glimpses back the Razor, but it was a very nice play from the Tusk, managing to snowball his Razor towards, so they essentially just dodged that glimpse. Fences coming out, managing to stop the assault. That one actually a very good use of fences. Oh, this Tusk looks like he's in trouble because there is a Disruptor currently looking for him. If he was able to throw out Ice Shards, I think he'd be okay. But I guess he's just saving that snowball, but he can't see anyone. Is he going to be able to get help? No, instead, he's deciding to run. He snowballed himself down, and now he's TPing. And I think he's actually going to be able to get out here. Well done from the Tusk. Very good escape. In the meanwhile, two heroes go down bottom lane. I guess that Juggernaut used his Omni/Ultimate on the Dawnbreaker and then managed to get his spin kill. So that's 2 kills for Jug. I wonder if he got both of those. On the left there, Lion got the one and then Jug got the other. That's absolutely fine. All the while we were watching this very nice play come out from Tusk, escaping both a Disruptor and an Ursa. Really well played. This ward was also dropped very nicely. It's sort of just able to give him that extra bit of vision in that fight to sort of make a play to escape. Now that ward is going to get spotted out unless that is a dire sentry ward, so that's all good. Juggernaut coming along well with his Maelstrom. And Dawnbreaker, even though Jug doesn't have an ultimate, has said it's time for me to jungle, which I don't know. Would love to see this Jakiro rotate bottom. I think they've got a lot of play here. Clever. Elite Ace on the Razor. Looks like he's getting run down here. Are they going to save a bit of catch or stun this time? Disruptor being very patient with his glimpse, and I think that's very good, but because it's not really needed just yet. The right click coming out. The glimpse manages to catch him, so that's great. And now the Tusk also goes down. So this mid-rotation up into the top lane has managed to get this Death Prophet 2 beautiful kills. And now one of those went to the Disruptor, of course, but his team. So that is now 5 kills apiece for both teams. Still within 1k gold. Puck, however, is making a little bit of a dent on this gold lead behind because he's just been able to chill mid and spam out waves and collect the money. However, top Radiant Tower T1 seems like it's going down. The Disruptor in the trees trying to find Elite Ace. Remembers Disruptor has a glimpse, so holds and waits. Drains this Death Prophet. He's going on him here. The glimpse is finally used to get him out, and then that allows all players on the Dire to just run away. No problems there. No problems there at all. Juggernaut at 12 minutes, now on top of the net worth. Very well done. Just have a little item check here. What's going on the Death Prophet? We've got a nice Yule Scepter. Always fun. Love a Yule's. On Elite Ace on the Razor, he has got himself some shreds. And a Falcon Blade. Junie on the Puck. Powered shreds and then making a dent into buying this Witchblade. Sorry, not Witchblade. Yes, Witchblade, 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 Witchblade.
Is under attack.
Seems like this top T1 tower is finally getting hit by Jakiro a little bit. The Ice Path does hit on the Razor, who is now draining him, but it only stops him for a little bit. Elite Ace picks up a nice solo kill in the top lane against a Jakiro, who was just trying to finish off this tower. It's only got 54 HP, so it definitely would have went down real soon. Meanwhile, mid tower... No, Tusk and Puck are both guarding that tower. Exorcism is almost up for the Death Prophet. Oh, bottom lane. Juggernaut goes down. And that was, yes it was. It was a use of the Static Storm immediately on the Jug. So that's why he didn't spin or escape from that one there. Just too much damage. Wahoo on the line, saving up. Oh, top lane.
Dire's middle tower
The Razor goes down to the Juggernaut and the Jakiro. Missed both of those kills. Apologies.
Dire's middle tower
Is now...
has fallen.
And now Tusk mid lane. He's able to finish off that tower. So the Radiant Tower is now gone. Bottom lane, the Death Prophet's just sitting here chilling. He's just going to keep on hitting this tower for a little bit. Doesn't seem like Mech and Cheese want to defend their bot T1.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I guess that Razor is just, he's too busy fighting. Look at him. Top lane, he's draining this Jakiro again. I don't know if that glimpse is going to get him out of range. It did. So that was the Eye of the Storm popped from... And now we've got 4 heroes from Mech and Cheese, top lane. 4 heroes on each side. With the Dawnbreaker can always use his ultimate to get in. It is up. Lion manages to... He goes down very quickly. Used his stun, missed it, and Ursa was able to just run him down. Puck gets glimpse, but no. Happily uses that phase shift to dodge that glimpse, so... Puck is also safe. It looks like just the Lion and the top T1 for the Radiant is going to go down. I think it was very safe for Mech and Cheese to run there from the bad guys because they had a Dawn ultimate which is coming up. Now there are a few stacks here which is it's really unfortunate. Mech and Cheese are getting stacks stolen to them. So that was a 15-minute Battle Fury on this Ursa. It's very good timing considering he has phase boots and a wind lace as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And he's now sitting top of the net worth.
Dire's structures
Puck
are
still just behind.
Middle tower is
He's actually, that gap we were talking about before, it's actually back. So now the Death Prophet is getting gone on mid. Stun and the Hex from the Lion, but no, there's nothing else they can do. However, Yules has come out. Jug is spinning. He does have his ultimate, but the Ursa is also here, and so is the Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker has managed to... Jug tries to kill a few of those creeps so that when he uses his Omni Slash, it does hit the heroes. He's managed to get this Death Prophet down, which is very well played, but the Ursa is coming from the background. There is currently a 2-for-1. 2 kills, 2 deaths coming out for the Mech and Cheese. Ursa's chasing this Puck, but not the best target for an Ursa to chase. So that team fight ends up being a 2-for-1. That is 1 death on... That is 1 death on the bad guys with 2 deaths on Mech and Cheese. A pretty even team fight. So there's 3k gold lead currently looking for the bad guys. What's Ursa lining up next? He's lining up a Blink Dagger.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It seems like he got himself a nice kill in that last lane game or match. Sorry, fight. I guess not. Mid lane, Ice Path goes on him, and then he's got a glimpse to get him back. That's what we're saying about this catch and this damage. I think that's a very nice kill just there. Taking what they can get. This game is too even for them not to just take everything that they can get. Juggernaut now has his Mjolnir, so he'll be hitting much faster, farming just that little bit quicker. Hopefully managing to keep up with this Juggernaut. In the meantime, Puck, he's jungling. I understand that there's a lot of catch in the enemy team, but I don't think the jungle is the best option. I guess there's no creeps, is there? Tusk, he's just got his tranquil boots. I assume he's going to queue up a blink as well, but I guess we'll wait and see. So now has his blink dagger, and he's queuing up a Lincoln Sphere. I guess he doesn't want to get altered by the jug, or hexed, or stunned, or drained, or snowballed, or punched by Walrus Punch. So I think hex is it's a fine option, considering that drain works through BKB, so does Jug's ultimate, so does punch. It's fun. It is always what you have to compare Lincolns to, is was it better to get a BKB? Anarchists. We've got the captain of MLG in the chat right now, and he's saying that Dire needs to get an early lead, or else the game will be too hard for Dire to take late game. He is a disruptor god, so Anarchist from Team MLG certainly has faith in Stickly. What's his name? Sickly Sticky. Sickly Sticky Stacks. Mid lane. The Team Mac and Cheese have just 4-man smoked Razor. The smoke broke, so they were able to find themselves a nice death profit. He's used his Yule Scepter to get out this thing, but he's also got himself a Spirit Siphon. In the meantime, the Jakiro goes down to the Lion, who has used Finger. Dawnbreaker has used his Eye of the Storm. However, the Jug has come through, and he's now got his Omni Slash. Omni Slash manages to get a few heroes low, but it's just that there weren't any more follow-up damage. The puck was not in the fight. He was in the fight, but then he left. He probably could have finished off this disruptor. I just think that was very well played by team the bad guys. The Radiant ended up being a none for 4. Or none for 1. Oh, what am I talking about? It ended up being a 3 deaths for 1. Razor's falling behind on farm now as well. So I guess they're just waiting for another team fight where they're gonna maybe even up the game a little bit, because AK lead currently for Team the Bad Guys as they take a nice little Tormentor. I guess that they could probably look at Roshan next. They have no T1 towers. Ursa has... he's changed his mind. He's gone for a BKB. Meanwhile, Puck is going to get a Yule Scepter, so I think that's going to be awesome. I love using a Yule Scepter against an Ursa. It just stops everything in his tracks. And Yule Scepter famously does not care about status resistance and range, because it will just continue lifting him up for the minimum amount of time, which I think is 2.3 seconds. We'll be able to check. 2.5. Top lane, Juggernaut's ultimate is up again very soon, but the ward spotted them. So instead they're just going to go and take this tower. Juggernaut, he's feeling threatened. I think that's fair, especially against the Disruptor. You don't want to find yourself caught in a static storm and not able to escape. Ursa in the back line. The Yules comes out very, very quickly from the park, and I think that's exactly what he needed to do. Lion gets a Hex off and then escapes. And now the huge difference here is, and which is why I think it's very smart that Team Mac and Cheese are leaving, is because they don't have a Dawnbreaker who can join the fight at any time. And even though Razor does have a TP, there would have just been an extra couple seconds from him to get to there. So then backing off is a very good option. I think Razor's also desperately wants his BKB. So while they wait for that, the game just slows down again. Players, teams and players both go back to farming. Oops. Bang.
My ire expands. Double damage.
Nice little item check while it's quiet enough. However, Juggernaut trying to get... Oh, I thought a two-man stun was going to come out there. The top T1's probably not worth hanging around just to kill. So the Dire are going to deny that top T1. And Jug's just going to spin. Spin his way to safety. Ursa and Dawnbreaker currently in the Roche Pit, and they have scanned that, so they were bringing players over, but it is a little bit too late. Ursa finds himself a Ages of the Immortal with a nice little double damage. Bring up those items again so everyone can look. We've got a Sanj and Kaya. Kaya Sanj on the Death Prophet. Ursa's found himself a BKB, Battle Fury Blink. Dawnbreaker has found himself a Harpoon. And then we've just got some casual mana boots on the Disruptor for the Dire, and on the Jakiro we've got a nice little Force Staff and a Mech, which is awesome teamfight items. On the other end, we've got a Blink Dagger on the Lion. Juggernaut has himself a Yasha, Mjolnir, and Phase Boots. Treads, Witchblade, and a Yule Scepter on Junie the Puck. And a Blink Dagger coming out on this Tusk. Meanwhile, Razor, he's also got a Yasha, Witchblade, and he looks like he's building towards a BKB. With Treads, of course, as well. Forgot to mention that. Every team's ultimate is up, which is probably why Team the Bad Guys decided to smoke, especially because they have this Aegis. And I guess that they saw this Tusk bottom lane, but Tusk, he gets out of dodge, he TPs away. However, I'm not sure how they see this, but there it is. Ursa picks himself up a nice little Lion who, how do they have? Is that their Watcher? I guess they just saw him through this ward and kept them running until the smoke broke. Mid lane, the Razor just got Newelled up, and now it looks like he's gonna get killed. The fences keep him in one spot for too long enough. The fences look good there. Ursa's also looking like he's going to find himself a Tusk. The Tusk goes down. Puck able to get himself out of dodge. He can definitely play Puck, you know. He's using the abilities correctly. He's getting out of dangerous situations when he needs to. But team, the Bad Guys managed to find themselves 2 kills. Tusk and Razor currently dead. Lion is back alive. And that is a nice little 1k gold swing in the direction of the Bad Guys. 2000 XP as well. So they are currently 13 gold ahead.
Just what I need.
Mid tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mid tower is getting a little bit bullied by the Death Prophet, but now Razor's got his BKB. Is he going to pop it? He is. He's going to pop it and get the kill on the... No! No, the Jakiro was still alive. Finally, Jakiro goes down, and so does the Disruptor. Juggernaut with a nice Omni Slash here. Ursa's able to tank a little bit of it, and now he's turning around. The spin also dealing some damage while the finger goes down. It's currently... Ursa's lost his Aegis, so Razor is the only one dead. Meanwhile, Jakiro, Disruptor, and Ursa have all died on team the Bad Guys. Ursa is moving forward. He's chasing. He still has his BKB if he wants to fight, and he's popped it. The punch just keeps him busy for a moment while Mech and Cheese are trying to get out of dodge. Lion is the only fatality at the moment. So, but Tusk snowballs in, trying to get the rest of his team out, and they managed to leave. So that was a 2 for 3. 3 kills. 3 deaths. 3 deaths of the Bad Guys. Counting those Aegis, but one of them was an Aegis, so Ursa is back alive. And then it was 2 deaths. It was both the Razor and the Lion on team Mech and Cheese, which honestly I think that team fight went quite well. We've got a little bit of a scoop here. Anarchist from Team MLG, who have played the Bad Guys many times, say they always ban Disruptor first. So, Anarchist, the team, they certainly respect stickly stacks Disruptor. Now, I do want to talk about this fight that just happened again, because Team Mech and Cheese are 15, they were 13k down at the time. So I think that that went very well, and it's showing that just because they're 15k behind doesn't mean that they're out of this game by any means. The smoke broke, and Lion blinked forward, trying to be nice and aggressive, but unfortunately didn't quite find it. Juggernaut in the meantime, he used his spin nicely, and the Disruptor goes down. Dawnbreaker is the other target, and he's had to ult in basically on the spot. Puck had already used his Yule Scepter, so he's had to go down there. In the meantime, Juggernaut has his ultimate come off cooldown yet? No, it hasn't. But now, if he's able to stay alive, he is. The Ursa looks like he's going to go down here. Thankfully, the bash didn't last long enough that he was going to die. But now he can just run at this Dawnbreaker and spin. That is a 5 for none. And what did I say? I said they're not out of this game just yet. And they have just had the perfect fight to prove it. Very well played by Team Mech and Cheese. An 11k experience swing with a little bit of math here. That is a 7.4 gold swing in their direction. So now it is only an 8k lead on Team in regards to gold for Team the Bad Guys. Whoa. Good fights coming up. I'm just going to do a couple spoilers to the chat. You know how it is. Dumbledore dies. It's good to hear that there's respect for these heroes. But yeah, what a fight. The punch used on the Ursa to keep him busy. I guess this Death Prophet doesn't have any armor. In fact, he's actually got -4 armor. Why? What's giving him -4 armor? I really don't know what's giving him negative. Oh, okay, he's back. Yeah, I guess it was just an ancient creep. Yeah, Death Prophet sitting in 12 armor, so he's dying very quickly, even though he has this Yules. Probably, maybe a base boots game for Death Prophet next time. In the meantime, Ursa is getting gone on an aggressive snowball used from Team Mech and Cheese, but their Juggernaut's not here. The glimpse maybe has saved his life though. The Juggernaut shows up with a little bit of a swift slash, manages to get the kill on Disruptor immediately. The Razor in the meantime has gone down, and so is the Tusk. Jug does have an ultimate, but the bashes and the stuns coming out managed to keep him alive. Can the Wahoo get the blink? He's got blink! He had blink for about 1 second there. He definitely should have used that. Unlucky. That is a 4 for 1. 4 deaths on Mech and Cheese with 1 death. The Disruptor. Very, very poor decision making there from Team Mech and Cheese. Not only were they not together, but they didn't have ultimates up, and the fight happened directly near their mid-racks, which, as you can see now, is gone. Both fortifiers have been used, but the melee barracks are falling, and I don't see any reason why... Yeah, I don't see any reason why Team the Bad Guys should leave completely, and here they are. They're moving their way to... They're making their way, sorry, to the top lane, where they're going to start hitting this T3 tower in the top lane. Elite Ace on the Razor, he's just spamming out some spells, trying to keep him away. The Ice Path is nicely used. Oop, and now he's got that Drain coming. The Tusk blinks in, gets that smash. However, the Dawnbreaker has got his Aghanim Scepter, so his ultimate is on a very low cooldown and manages to get that heal. Fences is used. That's going to stop any of the catch or the chase coming out from Mech and Cheese. However, he was feeling good. He didn't want to stop the chase. He's got the Drain coming out on this Dawnbreaker, which is going to give him a lot of damage. The big enemy has been popped as well, but the Ursa says, hey, if you're going to drain him, I'll kill you. This chase should not have chased. They did not chase together. This is yet again, I think it's just a little bit of a lack of coordination coming out, and maybe the captain's calls are just either not being followed, or he's too busy just trying to get that next item. He is playing a pos 1 after all, but that chase was horrible. The 2 heroes that chased are now the 2 heroes that are in the grave. Wahoo gets killed immediately on the line. Juggernaut uses his Omni Slash, but it essentially does 0 damage to the team of the Bad Guys because they were grouped up and there were plenty of creeps. However, the Swift Slash is coming out and doing plenty of damage to the Death Prophet. Death Prophet uses his Yule Scepter to try and stay alive. The Juggernaut is able to keep on doing damage, but no, the Dawnbreaker's ultimate is up again. The Solar Guardian comes out even after the Finger of Death. Death Prophet is still alive. Puck gets bashed, stunned. Manages to get his blink out, so Puck is safe. Meanwhile, ooh, tag team used by the Tusk. However, the glimpse has come through, and who was it bring back? Nobody. It was going to bring back the Puck, but he's able to stay alive. Juggernaut is the only person that has died so far, but Wahoo and Razor, so there's Lion and Razor, have both used their buyback. But yes, they finally show some life here, and the Dawnbreaker is dead. The Puck buys back after getting killed by the Ursa. And the Razor's wanting to chase. This time they are all together. There's no Juggernaut, but they are going to chase. Juggernaut. Oh, sorry. Jakiro goes down. Ursa turns around. Razor uses his BKB, and now he's currently chasing and draining this Ursa. Ursa could probably turn and continue this fight, but he has lost 112 damage. The Lion manages to find the Ursa. The Ursa stops his own TP to try and get the kill because Lion was right in front of him, but they managed to get him. Death Prophet is the only hero alive right now on the bad guys, sorry, and there are 4 heroes giving him grief. Wahoo on the Lion was at 66 health, manages to finally get himself away with his Glimmer Cape. He hasn't used it yet. Meanwhile, Death Prophet's still alive for a very long time, but finally goes down. So after 3 buybacks, that fight ends up being Team Mech and Cheese lose themselves atop racks, 3 deaths, 3 buybacks, but they manage to get 5 kills in return. They certainly needed that, and the gold swing that went in their direction was huge, but they are still behind. Team the bad guys still in a very comfortable lead with a 13k gold lead. As you can see, those graphs, they're looking a little bit more in Mech and Cheese's favor. Now, ooh, the 35-minute mark is hit, which is heartbreaking for Mech and Cheese as they were taking Roshan, and Ursa and Death Prophet are currently dead, so they don't really want to be wasting any time chasing this Roshan, but hey, it looks like they do because they've wasted about 6-7 seconds now, which might end up making all the difference, especially if Team the bad guys ends up pinging the Mech. Yes. Be great. However, it looks like that those 7 seconds haven't mattered too much as the Roshan does go down and Puck is going back. Yep, they sent Puck back for the Roshan's banner. They've been spotted. I think that they should let this Razor die. However, Juggernaut has completely opposite ideas. And it looks like he's going to go down immediately. So that is the Aegis used already. And now the Razor is dead. As I said, I think they should have just let him die because now the Juggernaut goes down to the Static Storm immediately. If they were going to fight, they all had to fight there. Heartbreaking news. Heartbreaking news for Team Mech and Cheese, and now the exorcism's already been used. They know that for 3 buybacks had already been used, so they may as well just use their spells and their damage on these mid T4s. The onslaught begins. Ursa and Dawnbreaker begin hitting these towers, and now they've decided to hit the same one. Shared goals. The Glimpse isn't able to catch anyone, but 5 heroes are alive. The Fortifier comes out for Team Mech and Cheese, trying to keep these towers alive, and I think that was a fine play. Ursa pops his BKB. I'm not sure if that was an accident or not, but hey, it's been popped, and he's currently got the Vision has come out, and he's killed the Lion. The Lion is now dead. 3 heroes dead on Team Mech and Cheese, with the Puck trying to do anything to delay, but the onslaught comes from the bad guys. Continue punching the throne. A little bit of a BM. Solar Guardian coming out from the Dawnbreaker just to say this is GG and this is the game. That is game over. Very, very nice. Well played by the bad guys. It was closer than that end seemed. It always does. Very good game. Very good game. Much closer than it looked. But it doesn't really matter what it looked like because there's only one win condition in Dota 2 and the bad guys have checked that win condition off. Just get a little few of these stats for everyone on the stream. I'm just going to slowly go through this. In the meantime, I'm going to try and get LCN Just ask him a couple questions. But otherwise, an excellent game. Now, we actually haven't spoken to...
Got a second game, brother?
Falx. We can do another one.
Yeah, the other lads are keen.
Sweet us. Alright, I'm creating the lobby now then. So it looks like we got a game 2 coming. That was Falx, captain. Oops, I forgot to keep on scrolling. Yes. And then that's all of the rest of the stats and the ability used. Fantastic. We'll go back to the lobby and we'll just let these new players come in. So we won't worry about the interview then. We'll just have a nice little game too. Let's go a 5-minute break. I'm just going to go fill up my drink bottle and we can get some scores up. Now, I should remember to download replay just in case I need this footage for later. Okay, now it seems like Scotty, the heroic 1, 2, 3, 5 plus 3, heroic 15. No, that's a joke. Heroic 8. Looks like he's back, and we have got the official Mech and Cheese team, no substitute. Let's just send our man. Little thank you for filling in there. That was awesome. Great. Another close game though from VSL. It's good to see these matches. Not once have we seen a game in VSL which is uneven. Ready when you are. Alrighty, we're just gonna simply gonna wait, relax, and wait for the other captain to do that, and game 2 can start. We've got another mac and cheese. Another coin toss coming out from mac and cheese. Now, for those that missed that last game, there was a player called Junie, and he was filling in the position 2 for mac and cheese. But now, Scotty, Heroic 8, as he prefers to be called, is now coming back, and he's coming back. He's gonna play, and he's gonna see if he can tip the scales. You know, when you saw 13k advantage, maybe it was only 11 if Scotty was playing. The bottom line is, teams have chosen. We're going to start this match. Bang, bang. Players are connecting, and soon enough, there will be
5 seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining.
Dire team ban.
Dire team ban. Do. 10 seconds remaining. See, the joke there was I was repeating the game for a little bit. It's late. It's late. You know, everyone, it's late. Give me a break.
Remaining.
It's late.
5 seconds Radiant remaining. Team ban.
Game 2.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Versus.
Radiant team ban.
So it seems like Mech and Cheese have either been reading the Twitch chat, and they've finally respected Sticky Sickly Stacks and banned his Disruptor, or they personally just felt the damage and the impact which he had last game. So either way, they've learnt their lesson. Disruptor is now banned, and the very similar bans coming out from the bad guys this time as well, with the Shadow Shaman and the Sladar. Beastmaster has been banned. Falx maybe just not wanting that.
5 seconds
And while
remaining.
Falx may be the captain, the shot caller this time seems to be Scotty from the mid lane. Heroic.
Dire team ban.
Dire team ban.
10 seconds remaining.
Nice little 10 seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining.
So we didn't see that transference talent. We actually went with the kinetic fence for the Disruptor last time. So other than the little map changes and of course the overall game changes, nothing extremely obvious. Copy that. Nothing extremely obvious.
Radiant team pick.
I'm sorry to keep you all waiting.
It's a Ringmaster. Yeah, get up. Just check. Do.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I do love Ringmaster, man. I've only played him a few times, but it's a fun kit. Good voice lines. Anyone that watched Star Trek Next Generation, you will recognize his voice as Q. The actor that he's Q. Let's find out what's his name. You know, that wasn't in the patch notes. We have to look him up. Star Trek Next Generation.
Dire team ban.
The scum.
There he is. What is his name? John Delancey.
Dire team
John
ban.
Delancey is the voice actor of both Q and Ringmaster. Doski coming out again, which I think, you know, solid pick. FN. I've seen him play a Magnus. I've seen him play a Tusk, and I'm convinced that he likes these little disruption heroes. A punch, a skewer, an RP, a shards, a snowball, a fist bump. He likes them all. Medusa's coming out as a band now, and I'm not sure if the bad guys have been paying attention or maybe watched the game the other night. I know that Lee Chen did, so they've banned Queen of Pain. Heroic loves Queen of Pain. Very much a comfort pick for him. Let's see if also the Mech and Cheese respecting everything that the bad guys brought out last game. Getting rid of the Stormbreaker, getting rid of this Ursa. They don't have to deal with any of this. The only issue with banning things you don't want to deal with is there's 100+ heroes in Dota. And I know that, you know, several have already been banned and they can't be chosen. But there's always something you're going to have to deal with. So I'm not a big fan of the strategy of getting rid of things you don't want to deal with. Not a big fan makes it seem worse than I actually feel about it. I think it's a good strategy. I do just think it's better to try and give your team the right heroes. Give your team the right heroes instead of stopping the enemy team from getting theirs. Chikiro comes out.
10 seconds remaining.
A little bit of a ban and a pick, you know?
5 seconds
Deny a pick
remaining.
there, maybe. Who knows? All the people that know, we can't ask them.
Dire team pick. Radiant team.
The undying waits. Dark Seer.
The scoop has come through from the captain of MLG in the chat. He said that they have a good brew player. So maybe there's a brewmaster possibly coming through. However, Dark Seer is who I can see
10
instead.
seconds remaining.
Ringmaster, Undying, Dark Seer. So the one
5
thing that I
seconds
immediately
remaining.
noticed that is different about the bad guys this game is lockdown. Undying doesn't offer any, where previously they had the Jakiro. They don't really have any catch. I know that Dark Seer is not bad at it, but I mean Beastmaster isn't. Previously they had the Disruptor. I don't know. I don't mind the synergy of,
Radiant team pick.
and we have a lone druid coming out from Mech and Cheese. I love this. I haven't seen this from Mech and Cheese, so this is exciting. I love the hero, love the idea. If I was to ever play a micro hero, I'd probably go lone druid just because one micro is
remaining.
easier than several trees or spiders or
5
brewlings.
seconds remaining.
As I was saying, I don't mind the strategy of things to deal with. So what we've got here is a Dark Seer who's got a wall, Undying who has a tomb, and a Ringmaster who has spells that sort of work in one area. Specifically, what is his ultimate called? Ringmaster. Not Spotlight. Wheel of Wonder. If they're trying to hit the tomb, you throw Wheel of Wonder in the way, delay them. Damage. While they're hitting that, you can always just throw a wall in, more damage, and then you could always just drag them away. Anti-Mage. Oh no. Anti-Mage. I think Anti-Mage struggles against Dark Seer in lane on a good
10
day.
seconds remaining.
And I know that Dark Seer, is he an intelligence hero still? He is an intelligence hero. But unlike several other intelligence heroes, he doesn't spend too much time really low on health. You buy the Greaves, you buy the Soul Ring. I don't know, and it just really feels like once Darkseer's used his kit, he doesn't really need his spells to keep the fight up. So, and let's say you go on a Ringmaster, it'll take you a little bit before you actually get rid of his mana, before he can cast Wheel of Wonder, walk towards it, escape act, save himself. It's a little bit of an awkward anti-mage pick, I think. I love the hero anti-mage, don't get me wrong. I just think you need at least one good reason. And I don't think I can see one
Dire
yet.
team ban. Drow Ranger.
And then the bad guys come out with a bad reason. Dra is famously good against an anti-mage just because of the silence, which is undodgeable. So instead of anti-mage being able to jump away with a spell,
Radiant team ban.
he will not be able to cast that for about 4 seconds, which is more than enough time for another player on the bad guys to deal some damage, provide some other type of lockdown.
Radiant team ban.
And that's a OD ban. Banning a Storm Spirit when anti-mage is on the other team. I like that. Like, hey, we're not going to pick him. You have an anti-mage. That's a great reason to pick an anti-mage if there's a Storm in the enemy team.
5 seconds remaining.
And if we can't pick him, we may as well stop you from picking him. I'm very curious. Maybe the Elite Ace is on the Lone Druid and that they are looking for a mid laner here, which I think is good instincts coming out from the bad guys. And that it's not this mid lane Lone Druid.
Dire team ban.
They've banned a Necrophos. Sure. Would I be scared if the enemy team had a Necrophos? I don't think so. I think that would have been a not bad reason to have an anti-mage in your team. Yeah,
5 seconds remaining.
maybe letting a Necro through would have been okay there, but there's also just this case of not sure who to ban. Ban someone you don't want to play against, so whether it's a good idea or not. Oh, I'm sorry. Fergengage. Fergengage? Let's go, Mac. He yells. Wonder if Fergengage is still in. Not sure. "17 seconds. A little bit of reserve time for the bad guys, but
10 seconds remaining.
close that door properly. Here we go.
5 seconds remaining.
Go there. Go.
Radiant team pick.
Radiant team pick Mars. Mars. I like it. I like it. Whether or not that's a mid lane, Mars is always a great pick. Offers a lot. Now Tusk, he's got some plays
10
here.
seconds remaining.
He can. So I'm
5
pretty sure you can
seconds
snowball
remaining.
your way out of the arena. But Mars is just a solid pick. Offers that bit of catch. It's got a nice stun, which can't be counterspelled by the AM. He doesn't really care too much about mana. He's got a nice passive on him.
Ember Spirit.
Ember
Choose your hero.
Spirit. I love this. I think it's a good pick. It offers everything, and I'm pretty sure Ember can. I don't play him that often. I'm pretty sure he can also get out of that arena. He can also go on the back line. He's got not bad attack speed. He can get away from the wall. He'll get a dispel and be able to close the gap on Drow with the other two. I like it. I like both teams' lineups. Got a lot of shit to deal with bottom, and then top lane they've got heroes which can do things. I don't know the best way to talk about
10
this team
seconds
actually.
remaining.
Mac and cheese.